again to get a post-cabinet briefing. We had a cabinet yesterday, so this is just to appraise you of matters that were discussed and decisions taken yesterday at cabinet. The first issue that we want to speak to is something that we spoke to in our last meeting, the National Health Insurance Bill, which is now before Parliament. We are then, as Cabinet, calling on all members of the public to engage with the NHI bill, and the parliamentary process will obviously afford the entirety of the public with another opportunity to engage with this bill. You will know that the public did engage with this bill when it was with the executive. So now they will have another bite at this bill as the Health Portfolio Committee takes this bill for consultation with all our people. Once this bill is passed into law, the bill will give effect to universal access to health care to all citizens in our country, irrespective of their socio-economic background. This right, as we all know, is enshrined in the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. Cabinet remains confident that the National Health Insurance Bill the National Health Insurance will be implemented in a phased and responsible manner. An implementation plan will be developed and published once the bill is passed into law. So we are very confident that we are not a government that is not aware of the difficulties that we might be faced with from time to time. So people must know that we are a responsible government. So whatever we do, including on this bill, when it is passed into law, how we implement the National Health Insurance, that will be done in a manner that is responsible. The second issue we would like to speak to, the last time we were here, we indicated to you that the President will be visiting Tanzania and attending the SADC summit. We have since received a report as Cabinet on the President's visit to the United Republic of Tanzania. As you also know, this visit included a business delegation to advance intra-Africa trade and investment. As part of the outreach program, the President also visited Morogoro, which hosted South African freedom fighters at the time. He also laid a wreath at Mthembu Tower in honor and memory of all South Africans who died in exile. President Ramaphosa also led the South African delegation to the 39th Southern African Development Community SADC Ordinary Summit of Heads of State, where his Tanzanian counterpart, President Magufuli, assumed the chairpersonship of SADC. In his capacity as the SADC facilitator to the Kingdom of Lesotho, President Ramaphosa presented a report on developments in the facilitation process during the SADC Tracker Summit of the Organ on Politics, Defense and Security Cooperation held on Friday, the 16th of August 2019. The third matter we are speaking to is on the meeting between Brazil, South Africa, India and China, referred to as basic countries, a meeting that was held on the 28th a meeting that was held on the 14th to the 16th of August, the 28th basic climate change meeting. With regard to that meeting, Cabinet welcomed the ambitious climate change action undertaken by these basic countries in support of international agreements in the pre- and post-2020 period, notwithstanding the multiple socio-economic challenges all these countries are faced with. Cabinet supported the call by the basic countries for developed countries to provide adequate finance, technological transfer, and capacity building to facilitate the effective implementation of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, its Kyoto Protocol, and the Paris Agreement in a manner that does not increase the indebtedness of developing countries. The item will come to now are cabinet decisions. The first cabinet decision is on a new model of service delivery we have referred to as a district-based service delivery model. This model was presented and its rollout to the entirety of the country was presented to Cabinet by the Minister of COGTA, Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma. Cabinet approved this new district-based service delivery model as an important innovation in the implementation of service delivery programs. The model, which currently focuses on 44 districts and 8 metros, will ensure coherence and integration in planning, budgeting, and implementation of service delivery projects and programs in all districts by all 3 spheres of government, the national sphere, provincial sphere, and local sphere, working together for delivery of this district-based service delivery program. The model is anchored on the Intergovernmental Relations Framework, which provides for a framework for a coordinated and integrated alignment of developmental priorities and objectives between the 3 spheres of government. It is also meant to enhance other alignment initiatives like integrated development plans, IDPs, with a clear focus of implementing one plan in each district across all spheres of government. President Ramaphosa will be the champion of the model, supported by Deputy President David Mabuza and the entire executive, provincial premiers and their executives, as well as local and district mayors, together with their ESCOs, will be part of the implementation of these district-based service delivery models. This is quite exciting. Because in our architecture and framework of service delivery, we will all now working together as government, focus and zoom into a district so that all of us, as we work in whatever area, we are not working in silos. All provincial departments, all national departments will then zoom in a particular district, working together so that we enhance the delivery of services in that district. We will also have at national level a war room where we will plot all projects that are in all districts, all 44 districts, and all 8 metros, so that the president and the deputy president will have line of sight of what's happening anywhere in our country. What are the projects? What are the public-sponsored projects in all districts? What are the projects that are emanating from our private partners that are also plotted on these district maps that we will have in our war room. So the war room is being crafted in a similar vein as the war room on the implementation of the NHI. So we are very excited, because through this project, you will then, through this district-based delivery mechanism, you will know what government and everybody else is doing in a particular district. But more than that, you will also know what is it that we are not doing. What are the challenges? At a glance, you will know that, oh, by the way, why are there no water projects in this area? How do people survive without water projects? Very important things that needs to get to our people will be easily tracked through this mechanism. Having spoken on the district-based service delivery model, we had a presidential coordinating council last week, which the president convened as the first PCC in this sixth administration, and it was convened last Tuesday on the 20th of August. One of the issues that came for serious discussion was the matter that we have just spoken to, that was approved by Cabinet, the district-based service delivery model. It was presented. As you will know, the PCC is attended by all our premiers. All our premiers were so excited and accepted this new innovation of having all of us working together as national, provinces and local, focusing on service delivery at a district level. So this was an innovation that was accepted by all our premiers in the PCC. The meeting also agreed on the district's prototypes projects that needs to be visited by our president, and they are three. They include the OR Tambo district in the Eastern Cape, and the president is going there on the 17th of September. Not alone, he'll be going there with members of the executive and the deputy president, but also as we descend on the OR Tambo district, we will be descending together with the provincial government, together with the local government as well in that district, so that we then say, what are the projects that are being rolled out in that district? And to what extent are those projects, both national, provincial, local, in the public arena and also in the private arena, to what extent are those projects going to change the lives of our people for the better? District zoomed. So that's where we are going on the 17th of September, led by our president, the first such visits after the crafting of this district-based delivery model. We will be in OR Tambo. We also are working on another visit to a mining district. And the mining district we have all agreed on is a mining district in Limpopo, Waterberg. So plans are afoot to get a date where all of us as national government, led by our president, together with the provincial government of Limpopo and the district and the local authorities, will then descend in Waterberg. The third one is going to a metro, an urban metro, of course, which is the eThekwini Metro, will also be as the first steps of us rolling out this district-based and metro-based service delivery model. These are the three areas that we will be starting with. OR Tambo District, Waterberg District, and eThekwini. Whilst we will start with these three, we, led by the President, we will be visiting all the districts in this sixth administration, all 44 of them, and all 8 metros. Again, to do what we said is the intention of the model. What is happening in each district? What projects are there? And to what extent are those projects leading to a better life for our people? Again, what are the challenges emanating from the implementation of the projects, be they national, be they provincial, be they local? So these visits will quite be important in the architecture of delivering services to our people, and basically monitoring whether those that are tasked with delivering these services, are they doing what they are expected to do. So that monitoring will come at the highest level from the President himself, going himself, as somebody will always say, going himself or himself to these areas of service delivery points, the districts, to see for himself that things are happening as they are supposed to happen, or something else is happening. And if indeed they are happening not in accordance with the plans that are there, obviously corrective measures will be taken on the spot. Not wait for years, not wait for months, on the spot, with the President in attendance, with the premiers in attendance, with ministers in attendance, with MSs in attendance, with mayors in attendance, with EXCO members of the mayoral committee in attendance. We will be able to unblock whatever that is not happening as it should on the spot. So we are quite excited that we are dirtying our hands with service delivery matters and ensuring that those who have to benefit are benefiting through proper monitoring of services that are being rolled out district by district. In that PCC meeting, we also received presentations and discussed alignment of the 9 provincial growth development strategies to the government-wide medium-term strategic framework. So we are also happy that our provinces, as they plan for the next 5 years, 2019 to 2024, they are using the same framework we are using for planning at national level, the medium-term strategic framework. So this is what they are using to craft their own provincial growth development strategies for the next 5 years. So there is alignment between what national government is doing in terms of planning for the next 5 years and what all the provinces are doing planning for the next 5 years. So there's alignment in all of us being guided by the medium-term strategic framework. We are now done with the PCC. Those were the only issues that were before the PCC, the district service delivery model, and 2, the alignment of all provincial growth and development strategies to the MTSF which were presented. The third item that we are speaking to is the India, Brazil and South Africa IPSA Fund Agreement. Cabinet approved for the submission of the IPSA Fund for the alleviation of poverty and hunger to Parliament for ratification. This agreement is between the government of the Republic of India, the government of the Federal Republic of Brazil, and the government of South Africa. The IPSA Fund was created in 2004 to pioneer impact-driven and people-centered efforts for the promotion of South-to-South cooperation. The fund has enabled South Africa to contribute meaningfully and substantively towards international efforts to alleviate extreme poverty and hunger in developing countries. It has also contributed successfully in promoting all the 17 SDGs in approximately 21 partner countries. The fourth matter we're speaking to is the fourth Ministerial meeting of the African Capacity for Immediate Response to Crisis. Cabinet approved the hosting of the preparatory meeting of experts for the fourth Ministerial meeting of the African Capacity for Immediate Response to Crisis Volunteer Nations from the 30th of August to the 3rd of September 2019. This supports and contributes to government's priorities in promoting continental and regional peace and stability, and ensuring that the African Union decisions related to harmonization of the African Capacity for Immediate Response Crisis Force and African Standby Force activities are achieved. This will further ensure that the African peace and security architecture is harmonized and operationalized. South Africa and 12 other volunteer nations are part of the African Capacity for Immediate Response to Crisis that was established in 2013 as an interim arrangement until the operationalization of the African Standby Force. On bills, Cabinet approved for the publication of the Housing Consumer Protection Bill of 2019 in the Government Gazette for public comments. The bill repeals the current Housing Consumer Protection Measures Act of 1998. This new legal framework will regulate home builders and developers, expand the protection to housing consumers, introduce effective enforcement tools, and prescribe appropriate penalties sanctions to deter non-compliance by home builders. The bill also creates an enabling environment for new entrants into the home building industry by introducing contractual provisions that ensure their sustainability in the market. Subsidy and social housing projects now fall within the ambit of the bill to ensure the protection of consumers in that segment of the housing market. Upcoming events, the first one is the TICAD Summit. President Ramaphosa will attend the 7th Summit of the Tokyo International Conference on Africa Development, that's what we call TICAD, in Japan on the 29th and the 30th of August 2019. The theme of the summit is Advancing Africa's Development through Technology, Innovation and People. And of course, this theme is aligned with the AU Agenda 2063 and continental priorities for integration. This year's TICAD summit will discuss, amongst others, 3 overarching priorities. 1, accelerating economic transformation and improving business environment through innovation and private sector engagement. 2, deepening sustainable and resilient society. And 3, strengthening peace and stability. Japan's cooperation on regional and international issues is important to advancing the African agenda and realizing the principle of South-to-South cooperation. The second upcoming event is the Group 7 Summit, or Group of 7 Summit. President Cyril Ramaphosa will lead the South African delegation to the G7 Summit in France from the 24th to the 26th August 2019, following South Africa's invitation to attend as a key partner. The G7 is a forum of the 7 countries with the world's most industrialized and developed economies. They include France, Germany, Italy, Japan, the US, the United Kingdom, and Canada, whose government leaders meet annually to discuss important global economic, political, social, and security issues. The upcoming G7 summit will focus on fighting inequality, promoting gender equality, access to education, and high-quality health services. South Africa's participation in the 2019 G7 summit is guided by 4 strategic foreign policy pillars. 1, advancing national interest to attain domestic objectives. 2, enhancing the African agenda in promoting Africa's sustainable development support. 3, influencing a reformed global multilateral architecture. And 4, advancing the agenda of the South by strengthening South-to-South cooperation and North-South dialogue. Again, on matters that are upcoming, as we all know, we have the World Economic Forum on Africa coming soon. The 28th World Economic Forum on Africa will take place in Cape Town, as we all know, from the 4th to the 6th of September 2019, under the theme Shaping Inclusive Growth and Shared Futures in the 4th Industrial Revolution. The forum aims to shape regional and industry agenda for the year ahead. The program will focus on how to scale up the transformation of regional architecture related to smart institutions, investment, integration, industry, and innovation to advance the 4th Industrial Revolution. The presence of world economic leaders and heads of state in our country presents a rare opportunity for South Africa to promote itself and advance our key priority of growing our economy. Another area that is forthcoming is the 42nd General Assembly of the ISO. The South African Bureau of Standards in Cape Town will host the 2nd General Assembly of the International Organization for Standardization, that's ISO, from the 16th to the 20th September 2019. The ISO brings together experts to share their knowledge and develop voluntary consensus-based and market-relevant international standards that support innovation and provide solutions to global challenges. The 2019 ISO program will establish strategies to deal with the challenges of climate change, the digital economy, economic growth, and multilateral trade. Another forthcoming item is the Integrated Government Public Service Month, now in September, as we all know. It started with the Public Service Week. We are now taking the whole month to be a Public Service Month. The upcoming program for the Public Service Month in September is a service delivery improvement program which forms part of the Batupile revitalization program that promotes a professional public service culture of continued and incremental improvement in all areas of public service delivery. The 2019 Public Service Month program will be held under the theme Khawuleza, taking services to the people, Batupile. We belong, we care, we serve. This gives momentum to President Ramaphosa's call made in his 2019 State of the Nation address for public servants to live up to the Batupile values and principles by putting people first. The suit for the 2019 Public Service Month program includes the Tourism Month under the theme Tourism and Jobs, a better future for all. Tourism is one of the sectors that has been creating jobs. Cabinet encourages South Africans to take a short left and promote tourism in our nation by taking advantage of the annual South African National Parks, Sun Parks Week, from the 8th to the 15th of September 2019, where our national parks will be open to the public for free. Those who might think that they will be open but they will still have to pay, no. From the 8th to the 15th of September 2019, just take a short left to our national parks. The entry fee is free. South Africa is a home to 10 World Heritage Sites and an area of global niche tourism. We can assure you that there might be many who have not visited their own parks. Let's take this advantage and visit our parks so that we see the good that we have as part of our heritage. Also this month we'll be celebrating Heritage Month. As we all know, heritage opens further opportunities for jobs and skills, providing platforms for performers, crafters, and subsidiary industries. There is also a need to continue in our efforts to preserve, revitalize, and promote indigenous languages as part of protecting our heritage. As we all know, also this month we'll be celebrating the Police Safety Month, initiated by the National Commemoration Day on the 1st of September in remembrance of our heroes and heroines who died in the line of duty. So we will remember our police heroes and our police women and men who died in the line of duty in this month as well. This integrated program gives effect to the National Development Plan, which highlights the need for well-run and effectively coordinated state institutions with skilled public servants who are committed to the public good and capable of delivering consistently high-quality services while prioritizing the nation's developmental objectives. On condolences, Cabinet has sent its condolences and again sent its condolences to the government and people of Tanzania after a fuel tanker explosion, tragically, that killed more than 90 people and also wishes those injured a speedy recovery. We also, Cabinet sent its condolences to the family and friends of South African artist, designer and businesswoman Miss Carol Boyce, 65 years, who passed on Wednesday, the 14th of August 2019. Under congratulations and well wishes, Cabinet wishes Justice Edwin Cameron well, following his retirement after 25 years as a judge. Judge Cameron, who was appointed to the Constitutional Court in 2008, worked as a human rights lawyer, as we all know, during apartheid, defended those who fought against apartheid, and he was also quite key in the fight for gay and lesbian equality. Cabinet commends his long life advocacy for human rights, as well as his fight for universal access to antiretrovirals. Cabinet wishes icon musician Mr. Caiphus Semenya a blessed 80th birthday. Mr. Semenya has contributed to the South African National Songbook with classics such as Matswale, Angelina, Zipingomo, as well as the powerful collaborations like Ndiphendule with his wife, Umama Letambulu. He has worked with international music producers and received 37 Primetime Emmy Awards nominations and won 9. He also received an Emmy Award for his role in creating the Roots soundtrack. He also contributed to the score to Disney's The Lion King. Cabinet wishes the Deputy National Director of Public Prosecutions, Advocate Silas Ramaite, Senior Counsel well, following approval by President Ramaphosa for him to take early retirement and vacate office in terms of Section 12 of our prosecuting authority. Cabinet extends its appreciation for the contribution Advocate Ramaite made in the NPA and to the administration of justice broadly over the many years of his employment in the justice sector. Cabinet congratulates Ms. Sasha Maria Schwende of investigative journalism television series Carte Blanche for her SADC Media Award entry, which won second prize in the TV category. The story that won, Follow the Guns, was a co-production that looked at the sketch of rhino poaching. Cabinet congratulates the Springboks and Banyana Banyana for flying the South African flag high and emerging victorious at the Rugby Championship and the COSAFA Women's Championship respectively. They are the pride of the nation, and their achievements are an inspiration to young and promising athletes across the country. Cabinet lastly congratulates Ms. Zozibini Tunzi, who was crowned Miss South Africa 2019, and wishes her well during her reign and tenure. She will represent the country at the Miss Universe and Miss World pageant. Under appointments, Cabinet has made and approved the reappointment of Mr. Fundisile Goodman Mketeni as the CEO of SunParks. That ends our long press statement. Thank you very much, because you are still awake. I've not seen anybody sleeping. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay. We will start with the Hatfield. I see no hands there in Pretoria.
Good morning, DG. For now, we can pass. We don't have hands this side.
I think they're at the back, and then I'll start with you. and then Paul, and then Linda, and then SABC, Lenny. Yes.
Morning, Mr. Mthembu. Jan de Lange from Rapport newspaper. I just wanted to know, did Cabinet receive a revised integrated resource plan, IRP, from the Ministry of Minerals and Energy? And what is the process? If so, what is the process forward?
Is there a mic? Or can you use your shop steward voice?
Just wanted to inquire, did Cabinet receive a revised IRP, integrated resource plan, from the Ministry of Minerals and Energy? And if so, what were the changes? What were the highlights? Do you know? And secondly, at the Premier's Conference, the BCC, the Western Cape
Is
Premier-
President's Coordinating Council. Just a
President's
correction.
Coordinating Council.
Yes.
Sorry. At the President's Coordinating Council, the Western Cape Premier was going to request central government to support its application to buy electricity from private power producers directly in order to supply the Western Cape local authorities. And so, in other words, to decentralize in some measure, allow some measure of decentralization in power supply from ESCOM. What's government's stance on this request?
Morning, Minister. Paul Dikiauta from Bloomberg. Has National Treasury appraised Cabinet of spending cuts? This morning, Business Day reported that over the next 2 years, National Treasury had asked government departments to cut budgets by 5% first year, 6% second year, and 7% third year. Is this a Cabinet decision? If so, when was it taken? And what's the response been from the government departments? Thank you.
Good morning, Linda Hinton from Business Day. Minister, what was the reason for the development of this district model? I mean, there must have been failures in the system that prompted a different approach. So what were those failures that the system is trying to address? Thank you.
Oh, we're done.
No, there's one more. 10 minutes.
Okay, my shop steward voice, Minister Joseph Musia from SABC. On this district model that Linda is asking, yes, my question is, what is the actual rationale and how is it actually going to? Is national government now going to be taking over the running of these districts? What happens when you find that people are not performing at the level that they're? Are you going to be taking specific action to remove people or to put people? How is it going to differ from how things are being done at the moment? And the other question I have on this, on the Housing Consumer Protection Bill, how does it affect the NHBRC? Is it enhancing it? How does it relate to it at all?
Thanks. I'm mostly covered by my colleagues. Was there any discussion in Cabinet or any update given by the Public Enterprises Minister on the ESCOM paper? When is that going to come before Cabinet? Is there any indication of when it's going to come before Cabinet? And just also on the district-based service delivery model, the way I understand it is that you're going to try to ensure that there's joined up planning across all 3 spheres in any given district, so that you avoid a situation where a clinic is built, but there is no road to the clinic, so people can't access it, which has happened in the past. But who is going to be driving that, and is it feasible to drive it from the centre? And then thirdly, and forgive me if I sound facetious, but does Cabinet actually discuss things like the need to congratulate the new Miss South Africa?
Yes. We are a cabinet that represent all South Africans. We do. In fact, some of these matters, the matter that you are speaking to, they come under an item called current affairs matters. They come before cabinet. What are these matters that are in the environment? You can't have a cabinet that doesn't know what is happening under their nose. So cabinet needs to know. But then as cabinet gets to know, cabinet then says what their view is. That's where then the congratulations come in. Yes, cabinet does. In fact, any member of cabinet, by the way, can bring, we might have missed in our document, it's me, by the way, you bring those matters, current affairs. we might have missed certain things in the environment. So cabinet members, because they live and stay in South Africa, they might say, hey, you guys have missed this one, can we include it in our statement? That's what happens. That's what in reality happens. So we are not a cabinet that is just too high up and not concerned with what happens in our communities. We also watch Miss South Africa. By the way, let's just speak to, well, I will not be able to speak to the Housing Consumer Bill as it relates to, and I will ask the relevant minister to make herself available on this issue, because I might mess up when trying to explain something I don't know. Yeah. The ESCOM paper, yes. The ESCOM paper will come before cabinet soon. You will know that that paper will not come basically on its own as a standalone. It will come in the context of looking at the South African economy. So yes, that paper is coming within that context of looking at the performance of the South African economy. If I'm not mistaken, I think in the next cycle of cabinet, that paper will be there. In the next cycle of cabinet, the paper will be coming. That paper, which is basically the performance of our economy and how do we do justice to our economy, the paper will be presented under the leadership of the Minister of Finance. I'm answering another question, that indeed that matter has not come. Under that paper, that holistic appraisal of our finances and the economy, then you will have that paper. But there's no paper of such a nature that has come before cabinet. No, there is no paper of such a nature that has come before cabinet. Yes, there is a paper that will be coming before cabinet that will touch on the economy, that will touch on finances. What that paper will say, I don't know. I don't know where you got this from, but definitely a paper is coming before cabinet. The district model, what is the rationale? You are right that how we have been working thus far, we have been working in silos, where you will find a national department going to a particular area with no linkage to the province. At times, even our deputy president, as he was commenting on this, he said, you will be a premier, and just hear that there is a national department in the province that you are leading as a premier. So there will be no proper integration and coordination of plans, which led to, even with good intentions, national departments will be coming in with projects with good intentions. But when it is not coordinated, even the impact thereof is not felt as it should. But when you have, and again, as a colleague has properly summed up, joined up government. You have national government working together with the provincial government, working together with the local government. Everybody is on the same page. We are all singing from the same script. And we all know what are we, all of us working together. How are we making lives of our people better? All of us working together. Not local on its own, not provincial on its own, and not national on its own. So join up. We are, of course, these are still early days, but we are starting a program that will make the various spheres of government to work together on projects and programs, so that by so doing we enhance service delivery. That is our view. We think it has all the signs of enhancing service delivery if we work together. So that is at the center of this joined up government, this district-based service delivery model. And as you will know, in the entirety of our country, there are 44 districts. If all of us pay attention to where are projects going to, are we over-subscribing in one area and less giving projects in another area? So if we pay this attention to all the 44 districts, you are then more likely to see where is service delivery happening and where are we missing the boat. So even for the purposes of planning, when you have all districts on this wall, you are able to see where are government projects in all these districts. And that's what we are working on now, a war room with all the districts, 44 of them, but also the 8 metros. Where are actual government service delivery programs? Where are they being directed? Is there equity in directing service delivery to all our provinces, to all our districts? So we think it will also give us a measuring tool of how we are performing in all our districts and metros. National Treasury, we have responded to that. It has not come before Cabinet that there will be cuts to departments. The Western Cape Premier request on whatever request, no. Of course, we must confirm that the Western Cape Premier was part of the PCC, and all premiers made presentations on their own provincial development plans for the next 5 years, linked to the medium-term strategic framework. So that was the intention, to get, first of all, to get the district-based model presented, discussed, and approved. That happened in the PCC. The second part was where all premiers said what are their plans in their provinces in the next 5 years. In that context, the Premier of the Western Cape did present a provincial growth development strategy. All premiers, by the way, as they presented at the end, they would have said, these are the assistance we are requesting from national. So I will know what assistance the Premier of the Western Cape would have requested from national. But all premiers, they will say, these are our plans, but national, can you come to the party here? Can you come in this regard, in this regard? So I don't have those details. He might not have in his presentation on the Western Cape Provincial Growth Development Strategy. Yeah, I think, IRP. The IRP, yes, it is not before cabinet. It has not come before cabinet, but it is still in the system, I know. It is still in the system. It goes through other systems, the clusters and the cabinet committees before it goes to cabinet. I know for a fact that the revised IRP is before the cluster, the economic cabinet cluster. I know it is being discussed there, but it's not before cabinet as we speak.
Before I take new hands, can I also check with Hatfield if they now have any questions? I'll give you guys the last round.
DJ, I think let's let it pass.
All right, thank you very much. We're done with Hatfield. Then I'll take another set. You were the first one, and I think, is it what? Okay, you.
SABC.
Oh yes, Maria, and then I'll come here in front.
Minister Mthembu of the SABC. I think my question might be linked to what Paul asked, but has there been any talk about the freezing of posts in the public administration, also because of budgetary constraints?
Thank you, Minister. My name is Vuyani Crane from SABC. Apart from congratulating Justice Cameron on his retirement, did the President update Cabinet as to what he's doing to fill vacancies in the Constitutional Court, given the fact that the Constitution gives the President discretion to choose his own candidate to fill the vacancies in the Court after the JSC has made recommendations? You'll recall that there are two vacancies. The JSC earlier this year recommended 5 candidates, from which the President should choose 2, and the President hasn't done that. So which means this one is a third vacancy in that. Secondly, did the President give Cabinet an assurance that he's going to foot the bill with regard to some of his legal programs, given the fact that some of them don't relate to what he would have done, as a deputy president or a president of the country? The matters that are before court, is the president going to foot the bill, or the taxpayer going to pay for that? I think those are the only 2 questions I had. Thank you.
Thanks, Maria.
Hi, good morning, Marianne Merton from Daily Maverick. It's a clarification. I'm afraid your comments with regards to the Eskom special paper have muddied the waters somewhat. Public Enterprises Minister Pravin Gordhan is on public record to say that the special paper on Eskom and Eskom's future with regards to unbundling, green power, IPPs, whatever else, may be part of that ESCOM broader future would be ready in September. Are you now saying that there is no ESCOM special paper?
There is.
That it is a paper on the South African economy, and that it is actually a process driven by Tito Mboweni, the finance minister? Or if you could clarify around that, please. Thank you.
Sorry.
You know, my mother will not have been happy with him.
Mine is also a point clarity when go from Reuters. I just want to check this IPSA fund that you talk about. If it must still be ratified, how can it be operational? I'm just a little bit kind of like lost there. It seems suggested that it's been, or monies have already been disbursed via the fund. How does that work?
Thank you.
Minister, sorry, Joseph Musia again. On the current affairs, Cabinet would be aware that the CEO of the South African Post, Sapo, has resigned.
Yes.
Was an opinion expressed on that, especially in the context of what's happening in state-owned enterprises at the moment, and Sapo's problems in the past that Mr. Mark Vance seemed to have been brought under control. And on the issue of the president himself, on the issues that he's facing personally in terms of the public protector, and there are suggestions that these are distracting him from his duties as the president of the country. Did Cabinet get any briefing from him in terms of of where he is and how these are impacting on government work?
I think you were the last two.
Yeah. Thanks. Again, Davis, Eyewitness News again. Thanks, Minister, for your responses. Just in terms of the district-based service delivery model, who is actually going to be in charge of any given project then in the area? So let's say that you're in Waterberg, in Limpopo, and you and your war room, you guys are in the war room, okay, and you can see what projects there are and what's supposed to be happening there. And you've got national, provincial, and local all supposedly working together on the ground. Who's in charge? Who actually says, you do this, you do that? Because we know how people protect turf and the implications of turf protection for delivery and for action on the ground. Thanks. And then the other question that I've got is, just with regard to the ESCOM paper, you're talking about the next cycle, are we saying in 2 weeks' time?
Yeah.
2 weeks' time. And the paper will be part of a broader presentation by Tito Mboweni. Thanks.
I'm still looking at the Sunday Times. I also wanted to ask you on this district-based service model, whether are you dealing with projects that are already existing and maybe monitoring the progress there, what is going on, or do you come from the beginning? Let's say if you want to build a hospital, do all the three spheres of government get involved together and you work together? Can you just give us an example of what exactly? Are you an oversight body as the national government saying fix here, don't do it here, but I mean there are laws that regulate those things. Can you just give us an example of what exactly is this thing like? When you wake up tomorrow as a war room, do you plan these projects together and then work together as three spheres, or do you deal with projects that are already there, try to see what's happening with oral Tambo and so on?
Thank you. Thank you very much. I think there's now for me.
Thank
last one.
Thank you. May I just sneak in this question, urgent question which I forgot. On the issue of the parole of the jailed Mthembu King minister, which is linked to the first question I asked of the president not seeming to be taking a decision with regard to matters before him. Has the president updated cabinet as to when he intends to announce his decision with regard to the petition for him to free the Mthembu King? Thank you.
Thanks, Brian, and that's all, Minister, for today.
By the way, when we come to you, we come to express, at least give you some indication of what came before cabinet. The Mthembu King matter did not come before cabinet. On whatever matters between the public protector and the president, those matters did not come before cabinet. Therefore, we can't comment on them because they did not come before cabinet. Similarly, whether this, of course, some of these issues of the public protector and that involve the president, as to the best of my knowledge, some are before courts. They have been taken, the public protector's findings on the president has been taken for judicial review. So, but that's public knowledge. That's public knowledge, but they did not come before cabinet. And also whether they have any impact on the work that government does from where I'm seated. Whilst they have not come before cabinet, they have no impact on the work that government does, because I'm here. I'm still doing government work. Everywhere where I'm supposed to be, to the best of my knowledge, the president will be answering questions this afternoon as part of his constitutional responsibility. So these matters that are happening in the environment, whether emanating from findings from the public protector, have not had a negative effect on us continuing to do what we ought to do. So that would be my view. We are able to do our work. The president is able to do his work. So there hasn't been any negative impact on our capability to do our work coming from the findings. Let's explain. When the ESCOM paper comes, which it will come definitely, and the people who are dealing with ESCOM will present that paper. And this is what we said the last time we were here. But that paper will not be presented on its own. It will come as quite a paper dealing with challenges that we are faced with in ESCOM and how do we navigate those challenges. That's a decision that cabinet long took. But as this paper come, it will also come with, because these challenges also impact on our finances, by the way. So you can't have an artificial separation between that paper and the paper that will come. Also, that speaks to the finances in the country, the economy, the South African economy. So all those will come and be discussed at the same time. Maybe that's what I should have said. They will come and be discussed at the same time so that we have an integrated discussion. You can't have the ESCOM paper coming, then you have a paper on finances coming, public finances that is, coming, then you have a paper on the economy, investments, etc. coming, and then you discuss them separately. It will not make any sense. So all these papers will come, then we'll have an integrated cabinet discussion on all these matters put together and together being discussed in cabinet. We hopefully it will be in the next cabinet meeting. Hopefully we'll be ready, first with the papers on the economy, hopefully will be ready with the paper on ESCOM, and of course included in the paper on the economy probably will be our finances as well, so that we don't confuse you. But yes, there will be a paper on ESCOM, there will be a paper on the economy, which will be inclusive of public finances. That paper, those papers are coming before Cabinet. But the discussion on all those papers will be integrated discussions that cut across all these papers, because there are elements in those papers that basically belong together. And from where I'm seated, the finances belong together, including on the paper on ESCOM. There'll be financial implications on the fiscus in that paper.
Would NHR be included then?
Well, I will know, and because I don't know what will come on the paper that deals with financials. If indeed the Minister of Finance decides to also flag NHI, by all means. But any difficulties and challenges that we have in our country, emanating from our finances, emanating from the sluggish economy, and of course, the ESCOM as a key guzzler of our finances will come. Again, only not ESCOM, by the way. You also have SAA. You also have some people who are here coming from some SOE called SABC. That is also a guzzler of our financial pairs. So all these things will come as a package for discussion. That discussion is coming. Probably that discussion will be in the next cycle of Cabinet, when all these papers are ready. Hopefully they will be ready by the next cycle of Cabinet.
Or next cycle, do you mean?
Next Cabinet, in 2 weeks' time. Yes. There was, colleagues, when there are resignations anywhere in any SOE, those things don't come to Cabinet, please. There are line departments that deal with those matters. They might come later, at a later stage, if there is a need for approvals by Cabinet for the filling of those vacancies. But indeed, there was no item on the Cabinet agenda on the resignation of a SAPO CEO, no. Or an SABC COO, no. We normally don't have those on the Cabinet agenda. Filling of Concord vacancies, no. It was not on the Cabinet agenda. Freezing of polls, no. It was not on the Cabinet agenda. Yep.
Who's going to be in charge of the district? in the area of the district?
Oh, yes. In fact, I wanted to start with that one. I don't know why I didn't start there. First of all, we all agree that we need a mechanism where all of us zoom into an area and work together and not work in silos. So the principle is agreed. In the area, we will have what we call now districts implementation forums. At those district implementation forums that the President likes to call Kauleza forums, will then include all players, will include a person representing national government, will include a person representing provincial government, and a person representing the locality, the district, as a forum. So you will have the forum that will be the implementation forum on all that has been agreed on to be implemented, whether coming from national. By the way, our architecture, intergovernmental framework, if we were working strictly in adherence to that architecture, we will have what is called the IDPs, Integrated Development Plans. In the IDPs, we are supposed to have national presence through projects. We are supposed to have provincial presence through projects. We might not have done as we should have done, as instructed and directed by the IDP regime. So in this instance, that's why we're saying in our document, this district-based delivery model will enhance what already exists. Our intergovernmental relations framework allows for us to gang up and have joined up government activity in an area. And normally in local areas, we have got projects that are from national, we have got projects that are from province, we have got projects that are initiated by the local government, sphere of government. But what is disturbing, which gave rise to this district-based delivery model, is that there was nowhere where we are speaking together. Everybody comes with his own plans. Even those plans at times don't speak to the IDP of our own local authority. At times they are just something that is outside even of the IDP. This arrangement will then force all of us first to adhere to the IDP framework, intergovernmental framework, but more importantly, we will be speaking and working together to advance these service delivery projects and programs in a locality, which for now, this has eluded us. We have not worked together. We have not worked as a team. We have not worked as a joined up government. National will just come as national. By the way, the president was supposed to go to Lusikisiki, requested by the Minister of Finance and of Health to open a clinic. And the president then said, so I'm just going there to open a clinic, I go. I don't even know what are the other projects from other national departments that are happening in the area. I don't even know what are the other projects that are coming from the provincial departments in the same area or in the same district. And the president said, no, I will go to the 6th. Now he's going on the 17th of September. But when he goes there now, he was supposed to have been there, I think, a month ago, July, somewhere. But when he goes there now, the president will be able to say to the people of that area, yes, we are opening this clinic now, but these are also projects that are in the pipeline from this department, from this provincial department, also from your own local municipality. These are things that will be done, and we are likely maybe to come back here and open this one in a month's time, in 2 months' time, this project. So as he goes there now, he has a full package of what will be happening in terms of projects in that area called Lusikisiki. Not just go there and open a clinic. Go there, open a clinic, but say to the people of Lusikisiki, these are the other projects that are in the pipeline. Either water reticulation, roads, or whatever other projects that are in the pipeline from national government, from provincial government, from the district itself. We think it's a better way of working than just going there on one item, going out, and not informing and getting people to be part of what is happening in their own backyard. So when you inform people not only about the project that you are coming to open, but you also inform them about other projects that will be coming, you make the citizens to also partake in the activities that are coming in their own area from their own government.
I think yours.
I do have another question like that.
No, not another one.
Oh, sorry.
I think I said that we are done. Minister, if you've responded to any, for some reason, I think I have that answer.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
We think we have answered your questions. Of course, it's a new start, this district-based model. But we think it's a good start because it will have your national, it will have your provincial and your local, all of them seized with whatever projects that are there. But all of them informing one another what each one of them are having for that district, are planning for that district, so that also the local area should not be taken by surprise that, here is the project coming from national, but we didn't even know. So it will create that synergy between the various spheres of government. It will create that integration between the various spheres of government, but more importantly, that coordination between the various spheres of government, which at the moment is lacking.
Just to clarify, the president is not holding up the opening of the clinic.
The president is going to the CC on the 17th to open the clinic and also speak on other projects that are coming to the area.
Is the clinic operating now? Because it was ready a month ago.
I wouldn't know. I don't have those details. I don't know. I don't know whether they...
I think the Zuma that's responsible for this, developing this model.
Of course, the COCTA, yes.
COCTA.
Yeah, COCTA.
Thank you very much. We've come to the end of the media briefing.
Minister, while I do have you, Minister, as a senior, I think the most senior communication